Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here, and today we're back with more MotoGP. Sadly, there's a bit of a recording error with the live commentary, but we'll still have commentary in this video, but it'll just be me talking over it after the gameplay's done. But yeah, I'm really sorry for not uploading one of these episodes in about a week's time, or in about a week. It's really haven't had much time, lots of Formula 1 videos to upload. And yeah, I'm sorry about that guys, but MotoGP will be back more regularly throughout the next couple of days and weeks. So yeah, this is the first race, nearly crashing there, but there's a Spargo off at the side of the road, and that was a great start for me, seeing a Spargo down the order, because he's one of my couple of sort of contenders in the championship, and I suppose in a good way it was nice to see him have some sort of accident. Obviously I never wished that upon him in real life, but in the game, obviously not real people. So yeah, so here we are, just trying to get way through the field, and there's a bike there in the back of us, but not too bad. About half the lap done, and this was the famous race where my camera went to the side for half a lap, and had to use a lot of flashbacks. But now diving it down the outside of Anthony West at Zarco, and was that Torres? I think it is, yeah. Torres winning one of the last races in Moto 2, didn't he? He won the Sachsenring race in Germany, which I think was good to see, because he had a couple of Spanish championships, I think, and just sadly never got around to doing anything too spectacular in the Moto 2 class. But that sort of puts the limelight there for him, and maybe now that gives him the opportunity to maybe get a ride in MotoGP. But who knows? I mean, that's a lot of the big rumours at the moment. Spargo probably going to Tech 3 to replace Cal Crutchlow by the sounds of it. That's what a lot of people have been saying. I personally hope that doesn't happen. I think Cal Crutchlow and Bradley Smith is, you know, it's probably one of the more perfect teams on the grid. You've got a sort of a slightly older, more experienced rider, and you also got Bradley Smith, who you know, isn't the youngest in the world, but he's definitely new to MotoGP and learning very fast. He's up there, I think he's 11th in the championship, but he consistently now, sort of midway through the season, getting top, you know, 6, top 7 finishes, and finishing, you know, a good less than 30 seconds behind the leader, which what he says and what most people say. If you're on that sort of bike, you're a rookie, and you finish 30 seconds behind the leader, that's a really good ride and something to be proud of. And you can correct me if I'm wrong guys, but I went back and have a look through some previous championships of MotoGP, because obviously I'm fairly new to it, and I realised that Bradley Smith wasn't really the most amazing, you know, MotoGP rider out there, but in MotoGP for me he's very fast, he's doing very well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe matching Cal Crutchlow by the end of the season, or maybe it's, you know, being very close. He's getting there. I think every track he goes to is a learning experience, and he's doing very well. And I hope, personally, I hope that Cal Crutchlow and also Bradley Smith stay there for next year, but that's looking unlikely. Maybe both of them will go, which I really hope doesn't happen. I hope at least one of them stays, but you know, it's looking quite unlikely that both of them are going to stay, because it sounds like Spargo's got quite a lot of money. But to me, it doesn't make any sense why you'd hire him instead of his, you know, I think Alex Espargaro is a much faster bike rider. He's been proven in MotoGP, so to me it would make sense. Just why don't you take Alex Espargaro? He might be a little bit older, yes, but he's got more experience. I personally think he's quite a lot faster. You saw what he did in the Sachsenring on a CRT, up there on the podium, playing positions for the good first 5 or 10 laps of the race. He was doing amazing, and I really hope that maybe he gets the seat instead of his brother, but that's probably not going to happen. I guess that Pol Espargaro has probably got a lot more money underneath him. He's younger, and I guess that's what people want at the end of the day. But I kind of just seeing if they take Pol Espargaro, I can just see it being, you know, that, and if they keep Bradley Smith, I can just see it being, you know, a bit of a, you know, it's going to be probably led by Bradley Smith at the end of the day, because Pol Espargaro is, yes, a great MotoGP rider, but he's you know, I don't think, you know, you need experience in MotoGP. Valentino Rossi showed that. Or you need a bike that's very fast, and also a lot of experience. Marc Marquez, he's a rookie, yes, but you know, he's got a good bike underneath him. We all know he's fast. He's pretty much dominated Moto 2 last year, and if you dominate a championship that much, you're definitely worthy of a top tier team. But experience is coming to the sort of the fourth this year. But there are some silly mistakes from the experienced people, which is also costing them big championship points. obviously sort of the most 3 experienced people out there at the moment, or 3 or 4. You can say whatever. There are lots of experienced guys out there, but you can see that was a close finish there, wasn't it? Missing out by a couple of tenths of a second to Agata. But Rossi, Lorenzo, Pedrosa, I suppose you could say Hayden in there as well. You know, their experience is really sort of keeping them up there, even if they don't have the best bike at times. It's showing that they do have the sort of the experience to keep it up there, and I think at the moment experience is as important as a good bike. So maybe if you put AlexZAfRo on that bike, he might absolutely fly. But look, only time will tell. I really want to see your comments on that, guys. That'd be really good to see. And that's actually something I didn't pick up in the live commentary, which I probably should have. So that's probably a good thing that I have to redo it at the end of the day. But yeah, the Laguna Seca race coming up shortly. Obviously, in this championship Moto 2, we don't do the Laguna Seca, so we missed that and went straight to Indianapolis, which is coming up in, I think, a couple of weeks' time in real life. I think a couple of weeks break. I think it's 3 weeks break. Probably completely wrong, but I think that's right. Maybe even more than that, to be honest. Probably maybe it's a summer break now. Maybe it's 4 weeks. I'm not too sure. You can leave a comment. Off the top of my head, I have no idea. So here we are being aggressive here in Brno. Spargo, Nakagami, I think a fight in front. There's Lutin. Don't crash with your teammate Alex. That was the main aim there. Had to back out of that. Lost a position to Schrotter, but got that back on the exit. I had to stand up in the middle of the corner. Otherwise, I would have had a really good exit out of that corner. And I personally have been quite impressed with my learning curve on this game. Go and watch my first video of this. I really was bad. And go to about the 3rd video, I was sort of coming into my own a little bit. Then start the Moto 2 season, going up to medium difficulty, and hopefully by the end of this season and by the start of next season, I would have definitely moved up to hard. I didn't actually mean to press that button there. I didn't mean to press the rewind button. I was trying to find the look backwards button, but I was stupid enough not to set one, or couldn't find it. There's Tyrrell getting down the inside of him up to 7th position, and really now it's just a good squabble. And I don't know why, but a lot of these races seems to be in the rain. I find it quite annoying personally, because I don't particularly like racing in the rain all the time. But I suppose you win some, you lose some in terms of weather as well as races. Now Rabat is the bike in front, going on to lap 2 here in Brno, and Redding sets the fastest lap. But it's going to be an interesting season next year, especially with a lot of rookies. We probably have who knows to be honest where Cal Crutchlow will be going, whether Scott Redding will get that Ducati seat, which looks like Hayden's been kicked out of. Who knows who's going to get a Ducati seat? Maybe you can leave a comment on that as well. Personally, I think it either will be Crutchlow or Redding by the sounds of it, but that's just what I've been hearing. But I suppose Crutchlow was offered a works Ducati right at the start of this season and didn't take it. But if he gets kicked out of Take 3, who knows where he'll go. Maybe he might even replace Rossi, who knows. But I suppose Rossi is more experienced, but he's behind Crutchlow in the championship. I'm a big fan of Rossi, but he isn't, I think he's behind. Well, maybe he's not behind, but it's quite close to Crutchlow in the championship if he's not ahead or behind. And who knows? I mean, Crutchlow's been doing a phenomenal job this year. I think this is his 3rd year in MotoGP, and I think this next year will be the year that makes it or breaks it for him. He's been getting great podiums, but he hasn't had the win yet. And I think if you're in one of those top teams and haven't been getting a win, it's you've got to start thinking about it. But then you also got to think he's in the I don't know, I can't remember, is it Satellite? I think it's Satellite bike. Where obviously it pretty much a works bike, but obviously it doesn't have some of the updates. The Satellite bike hasn't won in quite a long time, I think, and obviously we got a podium on a pole position on a Satellite bike yesterday with Bradle, which was great to see. But I can't remember the last time when somebody won using a Satellite bike. I think Ben Speed's Indianapolis. For some reason that rings a bell. You can leave a comment on that. I know you guys are a lot more experienced in MotoGP than me, so you'll all be able to tell me. Here we are, last lap. Bruno, Moto 2, hopefully we won't have to do another year in Moto 2. We already got a mid-season offer with a back-end MotoGP team, only after a couple of rounds, but personally I wanted to finish this championship going into the lead, but crashing down and losing that position all the way down to 5th. And it's going to be 6th with another bike coming past us on our right-hand side, I think, here. There it is, Rabat. We're not going to let him go through easily, though. We're going to just push on the outside and make sure they can get the move back on him, and really hope now I can just get back into that podium paying position to get me a couple more points ahead of Agata and all that lot. I think is that Agata right there? Yeah, it is. So we're going to try and get down the inside of him here. That was a bit optimistic, I'm not going to lie, but we got the move done. Maybe Marquez did that sort of move to get past a certain Lorenzo early on in the year. I'm sure everybody will remember that. But similar sort of move there, and then once again going down the inside of Espargaro, he leaves a massive gap. We get the move done and up into 3rd position. Espargaro has been slow into that corner on 2 occasions so far, so at the end of the day that was his fault. Now Kallio is right in front. Can we get down the inside of him? There is not a gap there. Going wide, getting a bit more speed out the corner. No, it's just not going to work there. Now running up the penultimate straight here into the final couple of corners. And there's Kallio. We're closing in Kallio massively. We're going to put it down the inside. No, we're going to go around the outside. We're going to try and do the switchback. He's dropped slowly here. We're going to be running side by side. He's not in my screen. How close is it? Very, very close there. That was separated by, I think, just over 1/10 of a second. So great stuff there for 2nd place on the podium. But that is it for this episode, guys. You can see there finishing 3rd place in the race. And now the championship standings, 30 points ahead of Kallio, Agata, Redding, Espargaro, Nakagami, Rabat, Simon, Tyrol and Luti is the top 10. So thank you all for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It's been Alex. I'm out here. Goodbye.